Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to the unofficial crossover announcement for Grand Summoners JP. We have a crossover of one of the most popular franchises in the world, Mortal Kombat. Yep, you heard me right. And we're getting Kenshi, as you see here. Unfortunately, the man lost Sento, so he won't be seeing any type of crazy ghost attacks, but his animations are not too bad, as you see here. Either way, Kenshi is pretty cool. The man is a fire archgening type Demon Lord Vox character to an extent. Not really, but it's interesting to say the least. His slots are going to be 6-star physical, 5-star defense, 4-star physical, or if you take him all the way up to LB7, he will obtain a 4-star heal. In terms of the kit, it's very simple here. What he's doing is pretty much just all damage buffing or helping out himself. Like the skill is self-sufficient. Art makes him have flinch res and also buff up his attack. His true art buffs up everybody's accuracy and his own damage by 200%. And the super art is pretty freaking cool, being able to reduce enemies physical res and enemies fire res if he's above 80% HP and he's not afflicted by a stats element. Very interested to see if this super art stacks with all other super arts in the game that are either physical res downs or fire res is down, since to an extent this is a conditional effect. He has to be above 80% for this to apply, and he has to be unafflicted by a stats element for him to apply the fire res. So it's gonna be, I don't know, we got to see if it does stack with other characters or if it doesn't. But this is where I was saying he was more like that Demon Lord Vox to an extent, because he has the ability where when he is set as leader, he increases fire allies art gauge by 5 for the first 30 seconds of the quest. That seems kind of whatever. It just seems like a bad negative, and I think I would have much rather took lower art shin, maybe like 3, but for this to last the entire quest. It's not like Mono Fire needs more art gauge. You know, they have so much with Sunraku, Summer Iris, Rin, you got BF Mira, but the fact that this only lasts for 30 seconds, I just feel like he runs out of steam too quickly. Granted, I also feel like he's going to be used more so in new comps than really sustain, so it might work out just fine. The other two abilities he has is just evasion rate and then increase own damage to human enemies, and then he has a true weapon. His true weapon is able to buff up his own physical damage and fire damage by 50%, and then his unique passive is he buffs up his own art gauge by 100 at the start of the quest. I mean, very good for fire, right? So you run this guy on the team with Sunraku or BF Mira, you pop off with his super art, instantly physical res down and also fire res down on the enemy. That's just going to make those characters hit ridiculously hard. Or you run this guy alongside Gabimaru. Gabimaru would definitely appreciate the physical res and fire res down as well. There's a lot of different teams to run him on, but I feel like that's pretty much all he is. It's kind of weird that we are seeing a character that is a nuking sub-attacker, a nuking support character in 2024. I feel like we don't get too many of these anymore. Most of the time they're just kind of focused on doing a little bit of everything instead of just only focusing mainly on just debuffing the enemy or buffing up your own damage so you can utilize this in like a nuke composition. Another thing is too is that if he is a nuker, his slots are not that good for being a nuke support character. Since he has 2 physical slots and a defense, the 2 physical slots aren't bad. You could definitely make do with those because you could just run like other physical resist down items or whatever. But the defense slot, I mean, the only real good one here is either Black Trike or Change of Pace. If you don't have either of those, then this defense slot is practically worthless, and you would be better off if this was like a support slot or even a magic slot, to be honest. I definitely feel like this guy will have a place, especially if like you do a raid nuke composition, right? And you're using a fire physical damage dealer like Sunraku for an example. I could see him being used in like mainly raid nukes, but outside of that, I don't know if you would want to slot him in on the team just to slot him in. I don't think he's that versatile either when it comes to sustained content, since his art doesn't really do anything, neither does his true art. I mean, 50% accuracy to the whole team, that could be useful when fighting like the Mines Emerald Bird, but outside of that, when are you gonna use it? That's another thing too. This guy has no defense ignore or no super crits, but it's probably because of how loaded he is with every other thing. You're just gonna have to give him some type of way to bypass defense. But all in all, this guy isn't Kenshi. His name's Lark, and I feel like he is just kind of middle of the road. I don't think this is a very top tier release. I don't think this is a terrible release, but definitely just right in the middle for an ascended unit. I think his artwork's cool. You know, I think him as a unit, like his design is really cool. I just don't think he is that good of a character when it comes to the meta game. Definitely will see use, but not all the time. That's the main thing about this unit. Either way, that's gonna be it for this video, man. Thank you all for coming out. It's been your boy P. Tell me down below what you guys think about Lark. You guys liking him or you guys not? I'd love to hear what you think about him down below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, have to check out either one of the other videos popping on the screen right now. Great content, guarantee you love them. Oh, and one more thing before you leave, don't forget to drink water.